Back again from our break, talking about Conlangs. It's going to be a short one because I do want you to research it. It's the better way to learn. And secondly, I kind of ran into stuff in real life. Anyway, homework. Work on basic syntax, create personal pronouns, polish what you have. Simple as that. I hope you did those because now we're going to move on to some more interesting things, even than that. Like tenses. Tenses. And tell the listener what time the action is taking, took, or will take place. Some common tenses are past, present, future, and non-past, and many more. There's probably more common ones, but I just chose those ones. Tenses in languages. English, we have past, I ate, and non-past, I eat or I will eat. Will in this case is an auxiliary. And let's move on to another language, Chinese. They don't particularly have tenses in the way that you'd think you use them, but they kind of do in that they express them through time expressions or signaling characters. If I'm wrong about that, tell me. That's a massive mistake I've made, but I don't speak Chinese, so I'm not going to go into any more detail. What about have eaten and would have eaten? Aren't those tenses? No, they're aspects. This is another important thing. Aspects, they tell the listener the time frame that the action took place in. So some common aspects are perfective. They are like an entire event. They look at the entire event. Imperfective, they're sort of ongoing. Continuous is currently happening. Habitual, no particular event. And many more. Here's English. This chart will be in the description. It's quite good for looking. It's like a good graph method of looking at the different tenses and aspects in English, just as a way to visualize them. It's helped me as well. So let's take to listen as a word, and we're gonna do this. Put it in a big grid. I'm not gonna read all that. It's there though. Pause it if you want to read that and get a good example. But this is roughly what most verbs look like. To here is called an auxiliary. As I showed before, it's just an extra verb. It's just an extra word to show what is an auxiliary. An auxiliary verb is a verb that adds functional or grammatical meaning to the clause in which it appears. Didn't read that off Wikipedia, I promise. Yeah, so that's what that does. It adds extra grammatical information. But you can see here, this is called conjugation. And most verbs are conjugated in this way. And the past tense has ed on the end to show that it's past tense, and present tense has ing on the end, depending on if it's not simple, I guess. It's complicated, but that's most non-irregular verbs. Yeah, conjugation. So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm doing this, basically. It's quite simple. I'm not going to have any aspects. Somewhat similar to German. German does have perfective and imperfective, but one of them isn't used too much. And English, well, it has about big table. I'm going to put these on the end of the verb in question, or the verb that needs to be given a tense to, and using this and the personal pronouns I've mentioned in the last video. I think it was the last video. All the information for that verb will be contained in the verb. So, who is doing the action and the tense it is in. And present has been left blank intentionally, it just means it isn't modified. However, with this system, that does mean that each verb has to end with a vowel. And don't worry, I'll make it happen. Yeah, homework, short video. Research and decide your tenses, research and decide your aspects, and decide how verbs will conjugate. I've kind of given you some ideas. You can do it however you want, really. They don't even have to conjugate, they can do something else. Making languages is an art form. Yeah, I just say that to make me feel good about myself. Well, yeah, hopefully that's decent enough video. Do this research, it's important. Without it, it's going to be hard to learn. Well, that's it. Bye. No, they're aspects. No, they're aspects. No, they're aspects. Oh, background color. Aspects. Tends to tell the list. Ha! Idiot. Does it stay like that? It does. Dumb. Oh, whoopsie. Ooh. Well, that was a bit thick, wasn't it?